We doing everything they talk about. You know I'm everything a boss about. Not putting work and gotta toss them out. I'm really biting, they just barking out. I'm really riding, they just parking now. His street, what to talk about. See the big H when I'm...
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Base Coverage presented to you by our partners over at Knoah Teamwear. I'm your host, Jamal Clay, and the ELF offseason has officially kicked off. There's a couple of things that I want to talk to and chat with you guys about in terms of what's been going on this week and some things that we can look forward to heading down the line. Right now, we're off to a slow week. I think a lot of teams are having those conversations and negotiating with teams. I also think there's a little cat and mouse going and people waiting it out to see, who signs where or who makes the first move. So we'll see what happens, but, we're definitely going to get some movement going on. We started to see some on Tuesday by a team that's been very aggressive this offseason, and that's the Berlin Thunder. The Berlin Thunder are waiting for no one. And kudos to them. I like their aggression heading into the offseason. They know who they want. They know what they need. It started off the championship weekend with, re-signing Kyle Kitchens, then bringing back a couple of other guys. They recently signed two receivers at that GFL experience last year, Mack Zimmerman from the Berlin Adler, and we also got Aaron Jackson, I believe his name is, who played in the GFL as well, who was one of the top three, if not the top receiver in the GFL last year. And you can kind of see where Berlin is going with this. Obviously it was a big question about the receivers last year. They have Nikolai Schumann and Robin Vilcek last year, but no other real threats in their offense. And you had Joe Giminario and Jock Crawford at the quarterback and running back position. But now you see they're going in a different direction. Obviously, you re-sign Robin, you bring in Mack Zimmerman, you bring in Aaron Jackson. And, from a receiver standpoint, right now they got some dudes. Ain't no doubt about it. They definitely got some dudes. Now, the biggest question is, we see where they're going. We see what their mentality is. Now, who's the quarterback going to be? A lot of people are curious if they're going to bring Joe Giminario back, if they're going to go a different route. Obviously, we know, they're not bringing Jock back. Obviously, we know that. But what do they do at that quarterback position? Because that's going to determine, to be honest, that may determine, their team. Their defense is coming back. They finished strong last year. They have good chemistry there. I think they'll be pretty solid. It all depends on what they're going to be able to do at that quarterback position going forward. And, I'm sure, they're going to be making some moves, some signings, and they may have their guy in mind, or they might just be waiting and negotiating. So we'll see what happens. On the other side of that, who's going to protect the quarterback, right? One of the big signings that they just re-signed was Tony Radlauer. Who was an offensive lineman for them last year. So that's a good re-signing for them, bringing someone back that, knows the offense, has the experience, and can provide protection. So we're going to be interested to figure out. But the biggest question we all want to know now is who's going to be the quarterback for the Berlin Thunder, who is off to a blazing start. And I love all the moves that they've been doing. So kudos to the Berlin Thunder. I like what they're doing. Let's next topic. The Helvetic guards, my Switzerland team. I like what they've been doing. They've been bringing in a lot of local talent, a lot of good local talent. They started with Dominic Leachy, who played for the Unicorns and also played for the Bern Grizzlies in Switzerland. Very, very good organization. They followed up with just recently signing the Swiss Bowl MVP in Ibani Mabungu. Hopefully I pronounced his name right. One of the signings I do like a lot was the receiver that they signed, Pascal Reg. Played for the Algoy Comets. Also played for the Winterthur Warriors. A real good solid pickup for them. I like what the guards are doing. Now, my question for the guards is what are they going to do when it comes to the trenches? Listen, this is the first week. I'm not expecting everyone to sign their guys, but that's one thing I'm going to be looking for is, how do they approach the trenches? Because that's really going to determine their team. I think they could sign some good quality guys like they've been doing in Switzerland. And I think those guys, will do a solid job. the trenches is going to be the question for them and how they approach that. So shout out to the guards. They're off to a pretty good start, like what they've been doing so far. It's just going to be interesting to see how they keep going forward heading into this offseason. Again, we're only week one. All right, we're only week one. I'm glad we got some action. It's been slow, but I'm glad we got some action and something to talk about. So next topic, the QB position. All right. So, we're at the quarterback position, most important position in football. Everybody plays sport. We all know that. I'm not breaking any news here. But from the quarterback position, out of 18 teams, we have 3 quarterbacks already signed. We have the Ryan Fire, Jadrian Clark, played for the Sea Devils in year 1 in the ELF. Re-signed this season with the Ryan Fire. You saw what he was able to do and almost get that team into the playoffs. Now he's going to get to start with that team from the beginning of the season. So good sign by the Ryan Fire, bringing Jadrian Clark back into the mix. We have the Milano Seamen bringing back Luke Zaraka. Luke, staple to that organization. He's been with Milano for years now. So that's no surprise. That's no surprise here. He's also the quarterback for the Italian national team. Solid pickup. I'm glad to see him and his talent come into this league where, they're going to be able to compete at a higher level, the Milano Seamen, with a lot of good teams. So I'm excited to see what they can do. I remember, even back in the day, they were always a team that competed against, Germany's, the Cologne Broncos, all teams across Europe. So good for the Seamen, signing their guys, staying with who they know, bringing back Luke. That's a good signing. That's a good re-signing for them. And then most recently, we have a new team with a new quarterback, or with a quarterback, and it's a transfer. We have the Anthroners signing Gabriel Cunningham. Gabriel played 3 games with the Leipzig Kings last year. We all know the Leipzig Kings struggles. He was their 3rd quarterback. He played towards the end of the season. However, he made the most of that. He made the most of that and only played 3 games, over 1,000 combined yards and about 14 touchdowns. And it's clear that his production towards the end of last season, was enough film that the Anthroners was like, we want to bring this guy in and sign him. I like him from the fact that, it's a quarterback. It's he's one as of right now, the fastest quarterback in the league. All right, and he has a lot of skills. He has a good arm. He has good speed. It's gonna be cool and fun to see with a full off season, starting from week 1 with a new team. How they surround. How they build the offense around him and some of their local guys. But Gabriel's a great signing. I'm happy to see him back in the league. He definitely deserves an opportunity. I'm glad he got one with the Anthroners. And hey, man, we'll see what these guys are making. You're starting to learn more and more about the Anthroners, and obviously with their signing of Jamie Hill, the coach, and bringing back the DN Jabari. We'll see what this team is made of. But they good first signing. This first weekend. We'll see how things pan out. So, now before we end this thing, I do want to give one shout out of consideration for a name for teams that, if you may be in the market for a running back, this is a guy you should consider. So, Joshua Mack, running back, played for the Cologne Centurions towards the end of last season. Only got a couple games. He does have experience in the GFL, but dude was a beast. Check out his highlight tape. I'll post it in the link below. But that is my one name for consideration, Joshua Mack. Maybe this is something I'll start doing, watching some film, see who I want to give a shout out towards the end of the show. But this one, Joshua Mack, running back, for anybody in the ELF or anybody watching this needs a running back, definitely something to check out. His highlight tapes are in the description below. So, hey, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Again, ELF all season. We're off to a start. It's not a fast start, but people, it's negotiating. People got to take their time and figure out what's the right thing for them. And I tell you what, from the people I've talked to, right, if once things start rolling, there's going to be some interesting signings. Believe me, there are going to be some interesting signings. There are some guys that will be going to teams, and you're going to be like, man. But what I would say right now is that the Berlin Thunder, I like what they're doing so far. Like what the guards have done with their local guys. And 3 quarterbacks are off the board, 15 more slots available. That's it. 15 more slots available. Will we see a dual quarterback, or will they all be imports? We'll find out. But thanks for tuning in. This won't be the last time we chop it up.
Nobody.